Hi Scorpio, welcome to my channel. My name is Kim. So today, Scorpio, for your meditative session, you guys got Frog Spirit, clear out the clutter, number 28, making a 10. There might be a lot going on right now, and I feel like you might be, a little bit confused, a little bit, like a lot going on, right? So I feel like their advice to you is to take the time to kind of deal with it, right? Like, when you get so busy that you everything just becomes kind of like, you're doing it as like a robot, right? Like you don't have time to kind of process anything. You're just moving around very quickly. And that's kind of what I'm getting with the clear out the clutter. It's like there is actually a lot going on that they want you to take a look at, right? Like the clutter is on the floor. It's like if you had a dirty room and your room just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And instead of picking something up and starting, you just keep the pile of clothes gets bigger and bigger, right? And then, it's very simple to just clean the room. But when you have a lot of shit to do, the room gets kind of left behind and you leave it for the last thing, and then the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day. And that's kind of what it is. It's if you look at it now, it'll feel a lot better than, I don't think anybody really cares about a couple of clothes on a chair, but I'm talking about a room full of shit, very, very crowded. There's a lot going on, and it's if you take this simple task of just doing it one at a time, it won't accumulate, right? So that's kind of what I'm getting. It's whatever this is, it's worth the attention. So to kind of look at it. So yeah, Scorpio, that's what I'm getting today. Let's pick more cards. I feel like there's something here about patience, and someone's testing it, right? Testing the patience of someone else, right? Because it's really interesting, because Libra, we were getting a lot of masculine energy, and now in Scorpio, we're getting a lot of feminine. So I think in Libra, we had 3 kings, and here we have 3 queens and a king. We have 3 queens, a high priestess, and a king. So it's we have so much feminine in this read, and Libra has so much masculine. I don't know if you guys are connected, Libra and Scorpio. But yeah, there's a lot of players in these readings. So it's interesting. But I feel we kind of just have Empress energy versus Emperor or King, right, energy. Because we have, the only queen that we're missing here is the Queen of Wands. And I feel it's really interesting because you guys also got 2 aces. So it is really a beautiful read. It's just there's a lot going on. I feel with time, with patience, with it's someone's testing someone else's patience. That's what it feels like. And that's why I feel that's where the clutter comes from, right? It's there is actually clutter here. It's not a joke, right? But I feel they want you to kind of balance that out. I keep getting this balancing out, right? And it's interesting because they want you to focus on it, right? This is them, I feel saying to put a lot of focus on, hold on. to put a lot of focus on whatever it is that is actually going on, right? Like to actually put focus into it. It's like, again, it's like that laundry that you leave at the end of the day, and then it gets accumulates and accumulates and accumulates, and then it gets like worse and worse. And that's kind of the vibe, right? Like clutter. Like it's like if you focus on it now, you can fix it easily. And that's what I'm getting with the balance card. It's like you're getting the balance of the emotions and the intellect, right? Once you like focus on this. And even in the end, we have the balance of the masculine and the feminine, the feminine energy, right? The balance of this cup and like, it's like cup and wands, right? But it's really interesting. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of major arcana, and I feel like it's like a big deal actually, Scorpio, because we have this 10, right? Which also leads to a 1, right? Like the 10 is the end and then the 1 is the beginning. So it's very interesting here how you have like this chance, I feel like, it's like you have a chance to start again, right? But it's like once you finish with this clutter, right? And I feel like the clutter is someone like going like in and out, right? Because we have like two opposite energies here. And I can't speak well, so there's definitely something with this communication, because like I don't usually like have a problem speaking. Like I think I talk too much of anything, and I'm like saying like the weirdest the words like such in a weird way. Yeah, like see, like that didn't even make sense. So yeah. There's definitely something here about communication, Scorpio. So yeah, there's like the dark and the light, right? We have like duality here, and then we also have like the emotions and the intellect, the masculine and the feminine. And then here we're getting like the 4 of Cups in reverse, right? Which I feel like is like someone kind of being more free, someone kind of like releasing things. And then I feel like with the Page of Wands, we have someone doing the opposite, right? Which is like someone who's being like a little bit like immature, someone who's being a little bit like childlike, someone who's like, do you know what I'm saying? It's like the opposite. Like instead of being free and like going somewhere, they're like stifling and like I maybe being like angry, like again putting like there's like these two sides to this person, right? And I feel like it's like getting a little bit out of hand, right? Which is why I feel like there's clutter, why I feel like there needs to be communication, right? Because we're getting the Ace of Swords. And I feel like they're kind of telling, I don't know if they're telling, like guiding the feminine energy to kind of put less work in, or if the feminine energy feels like they should put less work in, like they're guiding themselves, like their intuition is telling them to kind of put less work in. Because I feel like this is like a lot on the feminine, right? I feel like the feminine energy here with the Queen of Cups, Queen of Air, Queen of Earth, it's like the 3 feminines and then like the not putting in work card, right? So the only thing I can think of with the Queen of Air is intuition and the clarity, right? So someone or like I feel it's like their own intuition is like kind of heating them to put less work into a situation. And I feel like it's because I feel like things might be like a roller coaster right now with the Journey card and the dark and the light, like this opposites of energy, right? It's like maybe someone is kind of giving, opposite energy. And it's really interesting because I feel like the animal that came out was the frog. It's like clear out the clutter, right? So I feel like there's something here that has to just be communicated. And it's like, it's simple as that, right? Because it's so interesting. I just realized there's 3 aces. It's like, yeah, once the communication can come in, like I feel like that's something the feminine, like there's something here with the feminine and the Ace of Swords, but then with the masculine, we have the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles, 3 aces, guys. So yeah, I see like a beautiful read. I see beautiful energies. I just feel like what needs to be done right now is like to declutter so that like there can be like a fresh start. That's what it kind of feels like. And it's like such a fresh start. Like what a start, right? And it's like the Ace of Swords, right? Communication, emotion and feeling, and stability, right? So it's like, wow, so beautiful, Scorpio. And I feel like it's definitely something that, like, again, I feel like they're just telling you not to wait. Like, whatever this is for both of you guys, whatever there needs to be, like, talked about, discussed, there's, like, so much, I mean, there's love here. Obviously, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles. It's not only going to bring you stability, but I feel like this is, like, how the other person makes you feel, right? Like, there's communication. Like, there's so much beautiful energy here. And I feel like what's important, I feel like because the masculine has a sword, what's important for the masculine right now is clarity, right? The sword. It's funny because they're coming up with this and the feminine's coming up with this. So maybe for the masculine, what's most important is the cup and the pentacle. And maybe for the feminine, what's most important, like not what's most important, but what they need right now from the other is communication, right? Like it's like interesting how like it's the King of Swords, right? The king of like clarity and communication, but what they're sitting on is like the cup and the pentacle. Right, so whatever area needs to be decluttered, I still see like a beautiful like energy between these two people where I feel like they understand each other in a real way, and I feel like there will be so much balance brought once like whatever is needed to happen. I feel like, again, it could just be the sign that, you know, there's always going to be duality in two people, right? There's always going to be duality within ourselves. Like we fight like the dark and the light every single day. Like could be what it is. It's just somebody like getting to know somebody a lot better than they thought, right? But this is a beautiful energy. We have 3 aces from the gods, from the divine, right? And what's telling me this is going to be balanced out is the temperance card, the emotions and intellect card, the masculine and feminine card. Like there's 3 cards literally talking about balance. Right? So I feel like it's really important for whatever the clutter is to just kind of like be worked on at this time. And I feel like they're helping with the start, right? It's so funny because we basically have every single ace here. We have the Ace of Wands, right? The Ace of Wands, like he's holding the stick and the stick is like basically the Ace of Wands. So we have every single ace out here right now. It's crazy. Maybe it seems a little reckless, like maybe something might seem reckless. I don't know, there's something here about like it seeming reckless and you knowing that, but knowing that at the same time it can bring balance to the situation. So I feel like you're gonna go ahead and do it anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if this is like you having to approach somebody. I don't know like what's reckless about this, honestly, but I just see that it is gonna bring balance, right? Even if this is done in a way that might be like a little bit, again, there's clutter, right? There's something you have to deal with. There's something like an elephant in the room that you have to kind of deal with. So it's like you're going to go ahead and deal with it, but it might seem like a little hard. It might seem a little bit unrealistic, but I feel like you know at the end of the day that this is like the way to get this done. Right, Scorpio? So yeah, Scorpio. Let's see if you guys have any divine feminines. So you guys got Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion. I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. That's what I'm getting. It's like something has to be done to clear out this clutter. I don't know if like these two people are in communication with one another. I don't know if these people are dating. Like it doesn't matter if you like are speaking or not to this person. It's like whatever needs to be brought to like fix this situation, clear this clutter between the two people. They're saying that it might seem a little bit difficult and it might seem a little bit reckless and it might seem a little bit like crazy, but I feel like they're telling you to just go ahead and do it. Whatever that means to somebody, that's gonna mean something to somebody. It's like whatever you need to go do, just like whatever the action is that you feel like is reckless, go. I think it's like they're telling you to do it because with the High Priestess, I feel like it's going to bring some, it's going to bring some sort of balance to this confusion or to this clutter, right? And I feel like if that means to communicate, I feel like communication always works, but if it's to communicate about a new beginning, to communicate about love, to communicate about stability, to communicate, like I feel like communication right now, right? And I feel like these two people have been learning about maybe themselves. It could be like they've been learning about each other, but it could also just be two people learning about themselves, that like dark and that light, that like those two energies that oppose each other at like times, and like trying to balance it out and to balance it out for the other person, right? Like being very like clear about who they are to the other, right? And I feel like the goddess of compassion, Kuan Yin, I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. I feel like not being curious is like what could harm this relationship, right? Like not being in that curious state could like potentially have these two people like not speak about something. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like the best thing to do is always to like communicate, even if it would bring like some sort of pain or some sort of suffering in the moment. It's like it's better to communicate now before things got worse. And if this is two people that are not speaking right now, it's like the more time that like passes by, the like more difficult it becomes, right? So it's like kind of just like whatever needs to be spoken about, like speak about it, declutter the situation, and start again, right? So yeah, Scorpio, I really love this reading. I love you guys. I hope this reading resonates, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.